All right, welcome to everybody out there. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a show about ham radio. And my name is Tom, W5KUB. And we got, I think, some neat things to talk about tonight. We'll get into that in just a minute. Hey, if you're out there listening on WBCQ International Shortwave on 7490, please send us an email to tom@w5kub.com and tell us where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station. We'd love to hear from you. And just remember, you can always join us live on our live video show on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. if you just go to w5kub.com. So if you will, everybody please hit the subscribe button. We really need you to do that. I'm going to give you a little hint right there. There we go. You see that right there? I'm going to point at it. Everybody please hit that subscribe button. That helps us out a whole lot to bring in more people from YouTube that can find the show. So we'd love to have you there. So let's see what else is going on tonight. Okay, I just told you about our YouTube and asked you to subscribe here. Oh, join our Facebook group. We've got about 13,000 members in our Facebook group. The Facebook group is for the show, Amateur Radio Roundtable. You can type that in a search, or you can just type in W5KUB, and that will take you also to the chat, to the Facebook group, and you can join us and have fun and interface with the 13,000 other hams that are in our group there. So we'd love to have you there. Don't forget, we have a podcast. We're on just about every podcast carrier in the country, iTunes, Google Play, iNet Radio. We're on all these guys, so you can listen to us anytime. If you're driving down a highway or at work, you can download it. Again, WBCQ is a cool station to be on there. So let's kind of get the introduction out of the way there. Hey, tonight we're going to be talking about Hambot and show you guys kind of the ins and outs of Hambot and what he can do. And I mean, he's amazing. I guess I should say she is amazing. There's some discussion on whether Hambot is a he or a she. So I don't really know, but I think right now she's winning. So we're going to do that. We're going to get around to Glen's little segment on some SMD soldering that we've tried to the last couple of weeks. We had some technical issues the last couple of weeks, but we're back. The app that what's going on here? I saw Glen. I lost Glen for a second, then he came back.
Yeah, Zoom blew up.
Oh, Zoom blew up. Okay, so I forget where I was now. Anyway, Hambot. We were talking about Hambot. Kathy is with us tonight, and she's going to tell us a lot about Hambot, how it works. I'm going to give you some tips and hints on how to use Hambot. Because, hey, in just, 10 days? In 10 days, we've got the big Huntsville, Alabama Hamfest coming up, one of the nicest Hamfests in the country. We can't wait. I'd like to go down there a week early. And we'll be using Hambot. We're going to be using this program to stream, and we're not going to go with that other app. It was not ready for prime time. I'm a little disappointed with it. But we've also learned with this app, there's been a feature added where we can take our cell phone and I could turn it into a remote camera, and a person with any cell phone can just walk around out there and you will actually be a streaming camera on the show. So that's going to be good. We should be able to bring you a lot of walk-arounds and let you see a lot there. All right, so that's going to happen. Now, let's see. Let's see if there's anything else I needed to touch on. Well, Glen, how you doing down there in Mississippi? And we're out of power. I think most people saw that we are running. Let's see. We're running on backup generator right there. And glad we put it in. And hey, by the way, Glen, we're down to $900 an hour for electricity right now. So it's coming on down each time we like to have power outages here. So I know you work for Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. If you can just turn it off more often, we can run on a generator. Okay.
Well, I'll be sure to stick a note on the operator's console tomorrow.
So what else is going on in your world down here?
Oh man, I have been just going absolutely crazy. That side thing that you and I talked about a while ago is going full speed. But I've also been preparing for the QSO Today Expo, which is an online virtual Hamfest, and it's scheduled in mid-September, and I'm going to be presenting 2 Arduino forums there, both the standard basic Arduino one that I've been doing and the brand new one that I'm revealing at Huntsville. So it's getting crazy. I'm still working to get the next book out and in ARRL's hands by December. But I don't like, well, let me just put it this way. It's not a matter of like. I'm not very good at recording videos and editing, so I try to do them in one take. And doing a 30-minute presentation in one take generally takes about 50 takes to get there. I had it going perfect. I got to the last slide, and I ended the presentation 1 slide early by hitting the wrong key.
Oh boy, that's terrible.
But I mean, it's going crazy here. I mean, it's going good, but it is crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll be seeing you down here in about 10 days. Hey, that reminds me. I've got something here from Mark Brown, and let me read it to you. You guys real quick. If anybody's planning on doing any recording or anything down here, they got some new rules out this year. So permitted, you can record in the vendor and flea market area. You can't video, you can't record in the exam area when testing's underway, or the youth lounge where kids are present. And in past years we have done the youth lounge because they wanted us to come in because they were doing the robotics. And that was kind of fun. So I guess we won't be doing any youth lounge.
Well, they're probably protecting the kids with that. So
maybe the youth lounge is different than the area with the robotics. I don't know, but that's not a big deal. No, I think
it's the same, but they're just protecting the kids. They don't want the kids, showing.
And this is where you come in, Glenn. By permission only, forum presentations. Forum presentations. You have the sole. Forum presenters, you have the sole authority for allowing or not allowing the audio or video recording of your presentation. Recorders and photographers, you must secure written permission from the presenter before, capital letters, before recording a presentation, including incidental photographs containing material content. You're responsible for your equipment setup, takedown without disrupting the previous presenter or delaying the start of the next presenter. Let's see. It's permissible to capture forum audiences from the rear, but you can't do a face shot. So, Glenn, you're probably going to have to stand up and face backwards as you present. Well, maybe that doesn't pertain to you. But I hope if anybody's recording that, I hope people don't get up and walk around. It's going to be hard to. Let's see. You have my permission, Glenn says.
And it's in writing.
Live streaming of the Open Hamfest is permitted. And it says here to encourage live attendance, Hamfest asked that forum presentations not be posted to social media until 1 week after the show. So that's kind of the new rules they've got right here. Whatever.
Not a problem. I had actually had a backup plan for you. If you can't get somebody there to record my forum,
yep.
And the way that reads is if you're in the back of the room with the camera, I'll be facing you, so that's acceptable. They just don't want those people may be in the witness protection program or something.
Well, and their wife may not know where they are. They may supposed to be over at Grandma's house, and they're at the Hamfest.
They're getting the groceries, and if she saw him at the Hamfest, it'd be very rough.
Well, look, since you are a prestigious member of the cast here, you can help me try to find somebody that you know down there that has a phone that you will give permission to record your, because I think you do need to have that recorded. Just
Well, there's a second piece, and let me tell you, if we can't, I am in the process of recording it, the exact Huntsville presentation. I'm in the process of recording it here, and I will hand you a USB drive with it. If you can't get it live, you can at least play the presentation.
we can do that, and
Yeah.
depending
You'll
on
have
whether
it.
or not that's allowed for the show, it says really the rules say presentation should wait a week before they're presented. So we'll find out about that. But that is something.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, that is something we can still do on a Tuesday show if we have to.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so that's the new rules. Okay, well, hey, we're going to talk about Hambot and what Hambot means. Let me just give you just a quick background of how we came along with Hambot. You know, used to when we would do prizes, I'd be out in a flea market somewhere trying to do a prize, and I have a piece of paper, and we'd have people winning prizes or trying to give away prizes, and we had no way to count down and know if they answered in time, and the paper was always getting lost, and it was a terrible thing. So we developed in-house, and we've got some great admins that are actually very good in programming. And we've worked with them over the years to develop Hambot. Now, Hambot has been an ongoing process. I bet you we have been working on Hambot 3 to 5 years. And Kathy and I work with the people that are doing the development of the program, and we say, hey, we'd like it to do this, or we'd like it to do that, or can you put this function on there? And so it's constantly being upgraded and built all the time. So Hambot's going to do a lot of things, and Kathy is going to describe it and kind of do a walkthrough with you. I think she's going to show you some test prizes, but she has a real prize that at the end of that we're going to give you tonight, so you'll know how to work Hambot. So let me introduce you to Hambot here, and then we'll turn it over to Kathy. So here's Hambot. Okay, so there's Hambot there. Now, you notice Kathy is not live on here. She's at some distance from us right now remotely, but also we didn't want her on here because last time we had her on here, she broke the camera, and we were starting to run out of cameras, so we just did not want to take that chance again. But she's going to give us a really good rundown on. She's the expert on Hambot here. So, come in, Kathy. Can you hear me, Kathy?
Yes,
She's going to break you
fine.
for saying that about her and cameras.
All right. You're talking over Kathy. Kathy,
Yes.
you're there.
Okay. All right, everybody. We're going to look at Hambot. Hambot is something that Tom and I are really excited about. Like he said, we used to have problems with it in the beginning, but it has gotten to the point it does everything that we need. So I'm going to show you a little bit about Hambot. This is this is the main screen, and I hope you can see my cursor. Can you see it, Tom?
I can see it. It's small, but we see it.
Okay. All right. The cursor is red, so you should be able to follow along with me. The first thing that we do is we add prizes. And I'm going to go to the prize info page. And Tom works real hard on getting prizes donated from the vendors. He starts out about probably 1 to 2 months ahead of an event. So once he gets these in, then it's my job to input this in Hambot. And I've got a list of all of our vendors that are donating. So I just click on the vendor that donated, and then I can designate whether this is a prize that is U.S. only or worldwide. And this is 100% dictated by the vendor. We don't have anything to do with this. As you know, it's a lot more expensive to ship it worldwide, but we do have some vendors that allow us to do that. Right now, we have 31 prizes. 14 are U.S. only, but we have 17 that are worldwide. And if you look at the prize page, everything is worldwide, excuse me, unless it says USA only. So just check the prize page to see. Then I'm going to enter the description of the prize, and I'm going to save it. And then what a prize will look like. This is one that I've already entered. This is an ARRL prize, the handbook. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to award the prize. And when I get ready to do that, I'm going to click on Start a Prize, and you'll see the message come up that it's time for a prize. And then I go and, no, let me do a test. Okay, here's a test. All right, we're going to pick a winner. So I click on Pick a Winner, and you'll see my winner is up there in the top left-hand corner where my mouse is. I'm going to start the countdown. You're going to have 60 seconds to reply. And when we say reply, all you have to do is go into the chat room and say, I'm here, or anything like that. Just comment. But what we like to do is ask all of the other chat room people to just refrain from typing so that we can see when the person wins.
Hey, I got a question. Has Hambot been drinking? He said this prize is donated by WS5KUB.
Oh.
But that's okay.
No, it's WSKUB.
Now, is that the person that Hambot was looking for? I don't think so. Okay.
Yes.
See, now look, Mike said, now look, here, there's a mic in here. KB4JHU said, I'm here, but Hambot didn't call his name.
Yeah.
Now, he might have been doing that just to be funny, but we really kind of frown on that during the show when we're giving out real prizes.
No,
but,
N0RIC responded.
Yeah,
That's who
N0RIC says he's here, and that's the proper way. So go right ahead, Kathy.
Okay, and then after he wins, Hambot is automatically going to pull his name, and he's going to mention the name of the prize that he won, who it was donated by, congratulations. And then this is really important. We want all the winners to send an email to prizes@w5kub.com. And we need the name of your prize that you won, your name, your call, mailing address, and your email address. This is really important because what we do 10 days after Huntsville ends, we will send you and the vendor an email, and we're going to tell them what you won and provide your name and your contact information. So it's really important that we get that email. Okay.
All right. Hey, and let me say one thing too. K4HEF said, I am here also. Again, I don't know if these guys out there are playing with us in the chat room or not, but really we should not be doing that. If Hambot didn't call you, don't say I'm here. Hambot does check a lot of things, and Hambot can ban you. If Hambot sees things going on he don't like, he'll ban you. And Kathy, you may want to talk a little, maybe about duplicates. Maybe this is not the time, but that just came to mind.
Okay. The reason Tom mentioned that about, if your name wasn't called, please don't say that you're there, because I've had people send me emails that said that they want a specific prize, and I look back on Hambot records, and I can't find it. And then I look back on a paper record, and I can't find it. So it's just a lot of extra work for me to confirm that you really didn't win a prize. So let's try to avoid that. Also, at one time, we had problems with people that would sign in on their computer, and then they would sign in on a tablet, and maybe sign in on a phone as well. So they would have 3 logins, and it was really unfair to the people that were playing by the rules. So what we did is we developed what we call a duplicate finder. And I can go over here, and I can tell it, here's the duplicate login finder. So I can go in and tell it to find all the duplicates.
Let's see how many duplicates we have right now.
Ah.
Wow. Who are they? I bet I'm one of them.
Yeah, well, so am I. So,
okay. So you guys are doing good out there.
Yeah. So if there is a duplicate, I just check their name, and we're going to exclude them from winning any prizes. Tom and I can't win a prize anyway. But since we're doing all this testing, we're logged in duplicate times.
Now, I don't know who made that rule up. Admins, of course, are eligible to win prizes, but you and I are not eligible.
That's true. It's a good point. Yeah, our admins work very hard, and so they are eligible for any prizes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on exclude the checked names. So they will be excluded. And now I can pick a winner. Okay, this person, I'm going to start a countdown. Ken. So we have about 50 seconds left for Ken to claim the prize.
Now, have you noticed that even in the test, I don't win?
Well,
And Ken, this is just a test prize.
so you can see Hambot's counting down. He's going to really get counting down here in a minute.
Yeah, and if you'll notice in the chat room, it will tell you, you know, how many seconds you have left to claim the prize.
And you can't argue with Hambot. People used to argue with me all the time. Like, oh, the time was not up. I typed before you said time was up. Well, I was so easygoing, everybody won the argument with me, but you can't win the argument with Hambot. When he says, let's see what he says here. 5 seconds left, and then he says right there, sorry, you did not respond in time. You cannot argue with Hambot.
Yeah, so if the person didn't win, if they didn't respond in time, what we'll do is we'll go over here and we'll pick another winner. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what we would do, and we would just continue doing that until someone wins that prize. All right, let's look at the prize that was won a few minutes ago. Here's the list of the prizes that have been won. And I'm going to see who the winner was. This was a test prize, and the winner was John, KC7DRI. This program will pick up the prize, and it will pick up the winner's login information. This person happens to be a call, and so Hambot will go out to QRZ, they will look up the information, and they will pull what they can. We don't always get everything. In this case, the address, I did not get the address. I didn't get the email address, nor the zip code, but usually I will get all of that. Let's look at the next prize. Okay, this is N0RIC, and I got the username, the call. I got just about everything I need.
Did you get his address and all that?
No, it didn't give me the address.
Okay. We're going to have to check and see why that's not. It may be just, you know, we've dusted off the dust. We need to check and see why Hambot's not getting us the address.
Well,
here.
I found out what it was.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me make one comment too, guys. We kind of count on that address to be right, and if you are incorrect in QRZ, or you don't have an address in QRZ, and we can't get in contact with you, it's your fault. Okay. So just make sure you send that email, like Kathy was mentioning, to verify to us, give us additional information. And again, don't send us an email like some people do, say I won this prize when they really didn't, because we have logs by the second, by the 10th of a second, that tell us what prize was given, and Hambot knows who won. So no bogus emails, please.
Okay, and once you send me an email and you give me that information, I'm going to do a copy and a paste, and I'm going to paste it right here under notes. And then I'm going to compare this with what QRZ has to make sure that everything's correct. So it's, even if your QRZ is correct, still send me that information. We've had to hunt people down several times, probably at least once or twice every event that we do. So if you would give that to me, I would really appreciate it. And then I'm going to click this button here that says information received, and that way I'll know it's received. And if I don't find out, if I don't have that information from you, I have a way to go over here to Hambot and say that I need information. And Hambot's going to put a message out there to you. If you won something and you hadn't sent me an email and I hadn't checked it off, it's going to remind you. So I don't know if you can see that, the last message that Hambot put out there. But that's just another way that we have a checks and balance system. This column right here is the column that's got all the users on it. And there are 39 users signed in right now that you're up against. So there's 39 people. Let's see what else. There's a lot of utilities here. I can go in and I can export data. I can tell it what kind of data that I need from Hambot. It's got the time, the date, the time, it's even down to the second. So I can get a lot of good information out of this. Does anyone have any other prizes, or is there something I'm forgetting to explain?
No, that's quite an impressive program.
So it maintains a log, by microseconds on even the chat. Who wins prizes, what prizes offered at what time, who claimed it at what time, and so forth. So that's really good. He does a lot more too. The database is great. Man, can you imagine me trying to keep up with this on a piece of notebook paper, trying to give a prize away, try to time it with my watch, try to write down, and try to in watching for somebody to say I'm here. See, we don't have to really watch because Hambot knows if you answered, he knows that was you. And even though we ask you to please be quiet and don't chat while we're giving away a prize, let's say if 500 people were chatting and it's scrolling so fast we could not even read it, Hambot would still know if you replied that you were here. So that's kind of neat. And again, all this is developed in-house with our own crew. And it does a lot of things. And Kathy, I'm sure it does a lot more. Have you got more that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's a lot more that it'll do. I have the ability to send a chat out to someone. There's also, there's function keys that I can tell everybody to silence the room because we're going to do a prize. Oh, here's one called Donate. As always, we're trying to solicit fund, not always, but when we have a big event coming up, we try to get donations so that we can help pay for the webcast. So I can send that note out. I can talk about the admins and they're eligible. I can also tell a little bit about Hambot. Winner instructions, duplicate logins. So there's just a lot of things that Hambot will do that we used to have to try to do by ourselves. But I think that's all, unless somebody's got questions in the chat room. Tom?
Okay, well, thank you.
No questions?
Thank you. I'll check the chat room and see. Let's see. Oh, we're going to, I think you're going to, you've got a prize to give away in just a minute.
Okay.
We're going to do that in just a moment. I just want everybody to know, if anybody has donated to the group or the show here, we do not use your money. We do not use your donation money for prizes. All the prizes, I go out, I start about a month before the event, and I start soliciting prizes. I have pretty good reputation or rapport with a number of people out there, and usually they will donate a prize or two or three for the show. You can check on w5kub.com under prizes, and you can see what prizes we have listed right now. There's still a couple blanks. Gigaparts is going to donate, I think, now don't hold me to this, but I think it's going to be a couple handy talkies. And then there's some others, excuse me, there's some others out there that haven't told me yet exactly what they'll do. But under w5kub.com prizes, you'll see the prizes. Again, no donations go to buying your prizes. I prefer to stay out of the loop. I do not want the prizes sent to me. That way, nobody can say I kept a prize for myself. So I asked all vendors if they will to send a prize directly to the winner. that after the event, I will send them the winner's name and address and information. So there's no need of them paying for shipping and ship it to me, and then me paying shipping to ship it to you. So, I prefer for them to ship the prizes directly to you. We have a few people that have shipped them directly to me, and we have made note on there that if you won that prize, we would request that you pay for shipping. And we're going to leave those open for international, just because if you're going to pay for shipping, we will leave those open for international. Because if it costs $50 to ship or $75 to ship, and somebody wants it, if they pay the shipping, then we'll let it go to them. So that's kind of the way that works. While we're at it, let me just mention right now, just really quickly, this one prize. And if you go to the prize page, you'll see this one prize, and it's the CAA 500 Mark II. And look at the top of the prize page. We're setting aside this one prize right there for people that will donate to help us cover the expense. It's going to be a significant expense to webcast this event, and we'd like some help if you can afford it. If you can't, don't worry about it. We're going anyway. But for those that might like to try to help support the trip, this is a nice antenna analyzer. It goes up to 500 megahertz, all metal case, cross needles for SWR and impedance. There's a display down here where you can see a scan. You can see a scan, and it gives you all the information down there. This is worth about $450. Again, this one prize we're going to save for somebody that supports our webcast. And for every $5 that you donate, and there's a button under this prize, a button that says donate, or you can go to the donate button on the menu, top menu. For every $5 that you donate, we're going to put your name in a hat for one time. So, $10 gets you twice in there, $3 gets you $15 gets you 3 tickets, and so forth. So, and we're going to announce this on Sunday around noontime on Sunday. You do not have to be there to win. You don't even have to be in a chat room, so don't worry. Hambot's not going to pick the name. The name will be picked out of a hat. And you don't have to be in a chat room. You don't have to be watching to claim it. You can be at church and still win the thing. We'll if we pick your name, we will announce it on a show noon on Sunday, and then we'll get in touch with you. So thank you. If you can, we'd appreciate it. Thank you. This is a great antenna analyzer. All right.
Tom,
yes.
There's a couple more things I want to mention. After somebody wins a prize, I try to go into your web page, and I try to put the winner's name on there just so that everybody will know what's been won. I may get a little bit behind, but I will try to get those updated as possible. Also, you've got a username that you use to sign in with. If possible, if you have a call, please put your call somewhere in there. You could put like Tom W5KUB, just don't put Tom. And the reason I ask that is because QRC cannot find you if it's just Tom. So it would be much easier for Hambot if you would use your call in there. Also, sometimes we'll have a prize that we are trying to award, and it may be something that you already have or you don't want. Instead of telling us in the chat room that you don't want it, it would be great if you would just not respond, and that way Hambot will automatically go to the next name.
Okay.
All right. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Someone asked, do they have to...
Do they have to be logged in, or do they have to be active?
Well, you
That's
just
what the
have to be.
question-
You just have to be logged in a chat room. Again, you don't need a password. Just as long as you're logged in, as long as the chat room's running, you're okay. And you don't have to be typing. When we were trying the YouTube chat room a while back, YouTube would only populate the people that had talked in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and we were having to ask everybody, hit enter so it would populate everybody, and then we'd pick a name. That's one of the reasons we went back to our own chat room. We have so much additional advantages to use our own IRC chat room. We've got so much more control over it, so much more data over it, so much more logging. The YouTube chat room was just very basic, and it just really didn't do much for us. So if you want to use an IRC client, you can. If you look on under our chat room login on the screen, it tells you we're using Libera Chat. So if you're using something like HexChat or MIRC, you can set up your own client for the chat room, which works just as well. If you don't want to do that, you can use the little embedded chat room that we have on our website. On our embedded chat room, if you go to w5kub.com and go to the video chat page, you'll see at the left is video, the right is chat room. You can leave them like that and watch them and just enter there, or you can pop them out. Below each, you can pop them out. So you could pop out the video and you can make it bigger, and then you could pop out the chat and make it bigger, or the other one smaller. And if you're running 2 monitors, you can even slide one over to the other monitor. So you can pop out the chat. You can use the embedded chat room. It works fine. Just be in a chat room, and if Hambot picks your name, just say, "Yep, I'm here," or "Wow," or "Thank you," or whatever you want to say. Just you could hit a period and hit enter, and Hambot would know that you were there. Everybody needs to read the instructions on the top of the prize page. That'll give you more detail on what we're kind of expecting people to do, and what to expect, and how to follow through on certain things. So let's see if there was any other questions here.
There was one. K4HEF wants to know, will or are you considering making Hambot available to other ham YouTubers for free or for a price?
We are not. We've discussed that. It's pretty proprietary, and as I said, it was developed in-house, and we're always going through changes with it. We really don't want to get into any kind of support issues with it where we have to support the product or anything like that. And it's just something unique about our channel, and that we want to try to keep if we can. And again, guys, you'll probably see before the prize is given, you might see this come up on your screen. I guess that worked. I don't know. All right, you may see Hambot there saying, "Let's give away some prizes." So that's kind of your key to think, okay, they're starting to come. So, all right, let's see. Russ said, the only way one only has to be logged in for Hambot. Okay, you don't have to register your name or anything. You don't have to have a password. The only reason you'd want a password is so someone else couldn't use your name. If your name is Jack and you register Jack, nobody else can get in the chat room by the name of Jack. They'll have to be Jack number 1 or something like that. But since most hams call are unique, there's really no need to register. Was there anything else we need to talk about on?
Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and give away a prize. You want to tell them about it, Tom?
Yeah, let's do a prize. Let me see. Guys, this is a major prize. You guys have probably seen these before. We've done a few of them before. Look at this, boy. We're going to get, Hambot tonight is going to give away a Syntec 7-function digital multimeter. And you might think this is a little cheapy. Well, it is a little cheapy, but let me tell you, you can throw us a toolbox under your back seat or anything in your car. This thing here reads, and Glen, you were talking about it the other day, it reads just about as accurate as your Fluke does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, at work about a week and a half ago, I used that exact same type multimeter to fix an electrical problem in a coworker's car. So it does what you need it to do.
Yep. So it's a meter, and it's going to It's probably going to cost us more to ship this than you could buy it for. But hey, we're having fun tonight. We're going to give away a meter with Hambot. Hambot is waking up. He's getting ready he's exercising now for 10 days. So we're gonna let me turn Hambot on here. Let's see. All right, so Hambot is ready to give a prize. Everybody in the chat room knows what to do. So Hambot, go ahead and take it whenever you want to.
He already has.
Oh, yes? Okay. Hambot.
Yeah.
Tom, there's also a delay from our voice to the chat room, so you may want to talk about that delay.
Okay, yeah. So people know that in these video channels, the video is delayed. The video has a latency, or the longer you watch it, a little bit longer the delay. So we could be as much as 20 seconds delayed in what we're saying. We could see someone in a chat room say they're here, and if I said they just typed they're here, you might not see that for 20 seconds more. So the chat room is the official timekeeper with Hambot. Whatever goes on in the chat room is it. So, you might hear me announce it at Huntsville. Well, we got a few more seconds left. Well, that may not be true. The time may have already ran out by the time you hear me say that. When I said it, we might have had a few seconds left, but I may be 20 seconds delayed. So, the official time is going to be in the chat room and with Hambot. So, do we got a guy to win it here or not?
We did.
Yep.
Who won that? Was it Jim? Jim won it. N5 FKW, right, Jim? Congratulations, Jim. You got a Syntec 7-function digital multimeter. And he answered that within the first 15 seconds, didn't he?
He did, but you know what? Hambot didn't pick him out for some reason.
What do you mean?
He didn't find him in QRZ.
Oh.
So I'm not sure why.
So for some reason, and we could have some little bugs. Hambot didn't find Jim in QRZ. Jim, is that a new call or?
Maybe he just didn't fill out his QRZ stuff.
We don't know, but that's not a big issue. Just as long as we know you and we can get in touch with you, that's not an issue.
Well, he's got to send us that email.
Yeah, and you'll have to send us an email. So, hey, so Jim, go ahead and send us an email tonight. Might as well get practicing here. Send us an email to prizes, P-R-I-Z-E-S, prizes at w5kub.com, and we'll get this out to you as fast as we can. All right. No head call. What? Let's see.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
I was mistaken. We do have the address and contact information for Jim.
Okay. Why did we not show it up earlier?
I had not clicked on the prize and looked at the winner. I was still on something else.
Oh, okay.
So that was just a user error.
Okay, user error here. Hambot did not mess up, but that was user error here. And but I tell you, Hambot is solid. Hambot knows what he's doing. He does a lot of work for people. I guarantee you, it's just like having 3 people on staff that are watching the clock, watching the prizes, keeping the database, getting your address. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Oh, let me just say, especially for like Huntsville and Hamvention, start getting confirmation. Then I have to build a prize page. So I have to build up an entire website with the prizes on there and the winners, places for the winner and the pictures and all that stuff. And then, of course, during the show, we're going to give them away. And then when we get home, our job's not over. When we leave and drive home after the Hamfest is over, we still have a half a week or more work, and usually we're pretty tired. I've got to notify all the donors who gave prizes. I got to get them all your information after all your information has been double checked to make sure we're shipping it to the right people, right address. And we have a lot of work to do. We have days of work to do after we get back. So The Huntsville Ham Fest is probably going to be a couple weeks of work for us.
But
here.
we have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, Huntsville's fun.
We do. All right. Well, very good. Thank you, Kathy, for telling us about Hambot.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
actually going over the day before. Going to spend that day at the Space and Rocket Center just playing around. It's just one of the cool things to do in Huntsville. You don't have to. It's not strictly a ham fest. There's lots of other stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, I think last year we went out there. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll talk about you and some soldering, and hey man, I got some other neat deals, man. I want to talk to you tonight about this. You guys may want to hear this. Does anybody know what this is? This is one of the new Evolve 3s. This is the little Evolve 3 PC. $58. $58 for the Evolve PC. And I've tried it out on a bunch of things. We'll talk about it after a while. And I'll tell you more about the specs and what I found about it. But it's cool. All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
Keep your competitive contesting edge with ICOM. ICOM's high-powered base stations cut through the pileups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contest from the comfort of your home or remotely with the RS BA1 app. The IC7851 gives you a new window into the RF world and is HF excellence unparalleled. With faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. It is truly the pinnacle of HF perfection. It has dual receivers, digital IF filters, high resolution spectrum waterfall. The IC7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that has changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. Features include RF direct sampling, 110 dB RMDR, independent dual receivers. Create your own band opening with the IC9700. This transceiver brings direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. This all-mode transceiver is loaded with innovative features that are sure to keep you very busy. It has fast processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. Included are real-time high-speed spectrum scope and waterfall display, smooth satellite operation with 99 satellite channels, dual watch operation, and full duplex operation in satellite mode. The IC7300 is the high-performance innovative HF transceiver with a compact design, and it will far exceed your expectations. This innovative HF transceiver digitizes RF before various receiver stages, reducing inherent noise in different IF stages. The IC7300 changed the way entry-level HF is designed. Features include RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope. For more information on ICOM radios, visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, and we are back, and hey, oh man, I'm getting excited about Huntsville. Man, I'd go down there a week early. I'm trying to convince Kathy we need to go down, a couple days early. We started going down a day early anyway, but it's going to be cool. 9 more days we'll be heading down that way.
See, I got lucky. I go there at the end of June for the cat show, so I've already been down to Huntsville paving the road for you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? I'm listening. We are still on generator. It's so quiet out. It's right behind this wall right behind me outside, and I can hear it, but it's so low I forgot it's even running out there right now. So we're still on it, and that's been we've been down
several hours. Yeah.
Well, from 5:15 to in about 15 minutes. That'll be 4 hours. So we're yeah. Now my generator, my electricity cost on generator is down to $892 an hour. Yeah.
I got lucky. I got in the door literally about a minute and a half before the rain just came down here.
Yeah, I thought you were a little late getting in here. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's talk about your soldering episode here, you know. Now, guys.
I don't do surface mount.
Well, you know, Glen came over to use some of my equipment that I use for the small stuff. And by the way, talking about the small stuff, let me tell you about this real quick. You know, I built a tracker. We made a whole bunch of changes. We've redesigned and reduced parts and eliminated parts and added parts. And actually having it commercially made now. The people that are making our boards actually putting the parts on. And I want to show you what it looks like. See if I can get it under this camera here.
That's cool.
So they had to have this much board around it to run it through the machine to put the parts on it. But these pieces will break off, and then of course the little tab sticking on the side there, that's for the program cable. Once we program it, we'll break that off, and that makes it much smaller. And then if we still wanted to connect back up on the back where we have the break off, we've got 6 little pads there. We could actually solder wires back on to reprogram it. We've got one right now in the works we're working on, and it's half the size of that one. It's just about the size of the GPS chip. That's the entire tracker, and I'm anxious to see how it's gonna work out. All right, hey, so that's my hey. Now I don't have to do the micro miniature soldering. They just run it through the machine, and
that's nice.
Yeah. You know what? They only charge about 0.0017 cents per part to put it on.
That's cheap.
I mean, oh man,
that's nice.
Oh well, okay. So
yeah.
I'm gonna put this video on, and we're gonna look at some soldering, and it's not our best, guys. It's not our best. Glen and I were kind of playing around here, trying things.
Yeah.
And
it was on a Saturday. It was before my weekly bath. So we just had to mess around.
And I don't know, Glen. He likes that soldering paste like you dipping peanut butter out of a jar, spreading it on a out of a jar and spreading it on bread. You'll see in a minute. So this is not our best, but we're demonstrating how it works. I'll just say that we're demonstrating how it works.
Well, part of it was experimentation, and the other part was I just want to see, kind of thing. So, by the way, we've got Bill Brown in the chat room. His internet's flaky tonight too.
Yeah, I heard him talking about power or something too.
Yeah, but his forum is going to be in the same room as mine. He follows me.
Okay, cool.
So you come and see mine, and then you can stay and see Bill's.
All right. So let me start this video, and I'm going to skip over some parts of it because we actually were putting a part on that didn't fit. We had the wrong size part, so we'll probably show a little about that, but then we'll just skip over it and get into the nitty gritty. Let me see if I can get it going here. Let's see. That looks pretty good right there. Here we go. And Glen, you should be able to talk during the video too if you want to say something. Let's see. We got Glen with us here in the lab today, and he's brought an interesting project for us. It's going to be a difficult project, but we're going to try it. You know, we do a lot of surface mount parts on our tracker. This is going to be even tougher, I think, but we're going to give it a try. So, Glen, you want to tell us what we got to hear? And let me get the camera on you.
Okay.
There we go. Why don't you tell us what we're going to be doing here?
Well, today we are going to be doing 2 sets of parts and putting them on little itty bitty circuit carrier boards. And we'll see these under the microscope in a little bit. And these are called smart boards, and they actually will help the component place itself while we heat it to soldering. And what we're going to be doing is the SI 4707, which is a single chip weather radio. And then the other chip is the, oh gosh, forgot what those were. The LM 4632, I believe. We'll correct that later. Which is a little 8-pin module. And we've got those as well. We'll have to do that later. But they're 4632s, and this is the replacement for the LM386 audio amplifier. And since the 386 is being discontinued, I decided to try and move up to these, so we also have carrier boards for these. So we're going to be trying to surface mount solder these onto their carrier boards today.
All right, so guys, man, we have got, it's going to be, it's difficult. So we're going to have to get some soldering paste on those leads there, and they're about 1/100th of a millimeter apart, man. That's not much. So we have a special tool here.
Yeah.
This is called a toothpick.
I was going to say it's a wooden implement for placement of the correct
what
part.
What we're going to do here, try our best to get it down to the sharpest point, and usually I get it stuck in me somewhere during the process. All right. Now we do have a magnifier here that we're going to be using, and we couldn't do this without a magnifier. And then we got a microscope,
Binocular
microscope here. Okay, so we've got our toothpick ready. We've got soldering paste, but we just can't squirt it on. Even if we had the needle on here and we squirt it on, it would be just way too much. So what we got to do is we get very little of the. You probably can't even see it. There's way too much on there, I guarantee you, way too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this board.
The board itself, it is a 5 pins on a side, so it's a 20 QFN package.
So what I'm going to try to do is put a little solder paste right here with this is going to be tough, guys. I've got the toothpick here. You can see the leads here, highly magnified. I'm going to try to put just a little bit on each on these leads here.
Look at the size of the toothpick.
And it's much wider than. But when we heat this up, it's going to flow back into the correct terminal or lead right there, I hope.
Now this is actually my second attempt at surface mount. My first one did not go very well about 6-7 years ago, which is why we're here today. I have been told by everybody that once you get the hang of it, surface mount is easy.
Well,
but it's
not that easy.
Yeah.
This is not an easy one at all. I mean, a little on there.
And it's readily apparent that without the correct tools, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I might just scrape between here.
Even with the correct tools, it's not going to be easy.
I think we're okay there.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, let's turn that around where we can see the other last 4.
That's sad when you got a tiny needle and you have that kind of a glop.
Let's get it off here. Yeah. I got too much on.
To come in and hold the part in place as it's soldered and helps it seat.
We don't have the suction or vacuum.
No, I mean, it's going to automatically, the heat is...
All so we see on here, we see that our dot is right here. I'm pointing at it with the little X-Acto knife. Our dot's right there. So we're going to take our chip. Let me put it on here. You can see it on the screen. Now we're going to fast forward here just a second. 25 pin. The chip that Glen has did not fit
20 pins
the
here,
board.
so
I'm going to turn that over. We would get one side soldered and there was a gap
right
toward the
place.
other side. The chip wasn't big enough.
Yeah, the chip was a 3x3 millimeter,
dot.
and even though the
It goes
smart
just
board
like
said
this.
that it would handle the 3x3, it clearly did not.
Yeah, I see the dot. Bottom left hand.
yep, dot is in the correct place.
All right, so here we go. Now you say that's indented. This thing going to lay in here or not?
Should just lay it in, and as you heat it, it should suction itself into place.
So we've got a airflow rework station here. I'm not got a hole burned in here. This is going to get pretty hot pretty fast. It's going to blow air, and it's going to get really hot.
But you have it on a very low setting.
We want to turn the air down so the air doesn't blow the part away.
Right.
We can use the heat. All right, so here we go.
And we're, temperature-wise, we're coming up to 833 degrees.
You'll start to see the solder flow here. Here we go. On the top, if I come up to the top just to even make it touch, there. So what we found out here is the part was just too small to fit on a board. So anyway, we're gonna move on. Glen's gonna do some soldering here in a minute. So let me check. Let's forward a little bit.
Yeah, now I actually do have correct size carriers in, and now that I've got
2
all the
hours,
equipment
4
here.
hours, and leaving it on, and not using it, and some days leaving it on all night. So
And it does have a shelf life.
Typically if you leave it out, it ain't gonna last you a month or two because it'll harden. I mean, heat destroys. So we keep our solder paste in the refrigerator. Keep it in the refrigerator. I've had this because it will go bad in just a matter of weeks. It's still fine as long as I keep it cool. We're in good shape.
Yeah,
but by
that's good to know.
keeping it in the refrigerator, it's lasted me probably a year. And this is actually going to fit. So I've taken a needle, a sewing needle there, I think, and we've actually put some solder paste on each of those little tracks there. Now we're laying the part in. We'll probably tack it in there with the soldering gun, soldering iron.
And one of the things that forced me to do this is the standard 8-pin dip. The LM386 audio amplifier is being discontinued. This is its successor, and I have a number of projects where I really want to have an audio amplifier on the project. So this is my future choice. I can still get the LM386s today, but it's time to start looking to the future and investigate these and getting them surface mounted, starting to learn that process.
So we're going to just try to get one leg tapped here. Now, I've got multiple tips for that iron. One leg tapped. That's a very small tip there. The problem I'm finding with that iron, the most miniature tip, I don't get enough heat sometimes to the very small end of that. So you're going to see me swap out the tip here, and I tell you, I'm having some trouble. I put a medium-sized tip in, and then instantly we have enough heat to solder that. I just don't get a lot of heat on the very end of that little needle tip right there. So here I'm going to swap out the tip. Watch how you swap it on this soldering station. Tip. We'll be able to solder with this tip fine. That's all you have to do to change tip size. We're going to just heat this one leg. And that heated it up perfect. Okay. So it looks like we're pretty much aligned. Maybe. Okay. Pretty much aligned. So we're just going to Keep one on the other side.
And you can see how easy that
Solder.
solder paste melts and
So, all right. let's
sucks
see
it
if we
up to
So we're going to move to a
as the other
different.
one. So
You can
this
see
would
how
be
it,
something that just about anybody would be able to do as I go forward with some of my projects. Because
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest concerns is if I build it, it needs to be such that anyone can duplicate my work. And this looks like something that even my poor old eyes can handle.
Yeah. And believe me, you want to use as little solder as possible. So that you look at it through the microscope.
Yeah.
Just move it up and down
So-
there until you get it focused. And all right,
you're
now
gonna
we're
see
going to try something. Glenn's going to try something here.
Now what we've done is we've laid. Let's put our little toothpick with flux.
So Glenn is going to try just putting the paste on, laying a part on it, and seeing if the part will float into
We are
place.
just gonna glop it.
And look how much he's putting on there. I mean, he is just. I mean, I thought this. He's cruising for a bruising.
You are
here.
living dangerously.
Look at the right side of that chip. It looks
are
like
living
a
dangerously.
concrete driveway.
My
out
chips,
there.
my money.
Woo, man.
Okay.
You know where pin 1 is?
So
No,
Glenn
we're gonna
is
figure that out.
experimenting now. He's experimenting with trying to float
no,
that
you know
part
where
into
pin
Yes,
one
place.
is.
pin 1 is on our lower right, and as you can see, I'm matching it up to the dot on the chip.
Okay. All right.
Guys, that is way too much soldering paste. Way too much.
I feel
You feeling
I'm
sympathy for this poor little
yeah,
chip?
I'm feeling kind of low right now, to tell you the truth. You know, now if you got the right amount on there, that chip will actually float and pull itself right in place.
Correct. That looks pretty much online. You can see I've got it in line with the trace here. And the dot is in the correct location.
Yeah.
So now we need
I
to
just,
get...
I just think we have about 1,000 times. We've got about 1,000 times too much on there, but we're going to go for it. You the man.
All right, are we ready? You want to get
You're
on
the
my
man.
shoulder
Yeah, I'm going to
here?
come over here. You're the man. All right. With that, with the heat, air, you try to get on both sides of the chip, you know, kind of alternate it a little
We're going
bit.
to try to come down right from the top.
And you saw how much paste I put on that thing.
It's starting to melt.
You see it, pull the chip into the position.
Yeah. You may do it, Glenn, if you just get it hot enough over here. Look at that, look at that. It might make it.
Got two little...
We may have to take some,
We may have to
suck that
touch
off.
those up.
Yeah, yeah. You need to move it over any. You just move
Yeah,
the whole thing
let's-
over a little bit. There you go.
Come over here to the other side.
And part of the reason for doing it this way
It's starting to
was
melt.
to see what the tolerance
It's also
was.
starting to char the tape.
Well, that's
So
okay.
it shows you that you
Look at
don't
that.
have
oh,
to
man,
be.
it sucked that right in there, man. That side looks better than the other side.
That, to me, looks almost perfect.
Yeah.
So let's
So-
try
and
the other side
reason-
just a little bit.
I'm pleasantly surprised that the big gob of paste you put on there did all pull to the
Except
to
for
the
that
falls.
one little
Yeah.
plop.
Yep.
And as you can see under the microscope here, we hit that with the soldering iron, reheated it, and the glop is gone.
Yep. Yep.
And the purpose of this was
All right.
just so the tolerance
now
that
let's
you
try
got. You
one
don't have to
more.
be perfect.
With no glop and just run it along the traces like Tom did on the very first one. Because if you remember last time, we couldn't even see the traces when I laid the chip down. This time, we've gotten rid of most of the glops,
Yep.
much smaller. And this is the one thing that I'm learning with this surface mount. Less is best.
Oh yeah. Lots of less.
absolute-
A lot of less is best.
Absolute least
Yeah.
that you can get away with, but you do want enough there so that the solder paste can do its magic.
And that's why I use a really small, hair-thin solder, because less is best. And you get a little bit too much on there, and you'll get solder bridges. And man, sometimes they're not easy to take out. All right, you got that.
As you can see, we've gotten rid of most of the glops.
Yep.
And I believe the rest will get sucked up by our heat. This is definitely nowhere near the amount of glopping that we did the first time.
Right. You can always touch it up too after that with soldering iron and
right. As you saw, we were able to fix that. Now, in this orientation, pin 1 is up at the top right. So all we have to do is put this magnifier, makes this so very easy. Definitely need to invest in one.
And I have. I bought the 8-inch version as soon as I got home.
And let us see.
So I can get a good shot of this.
You're fine.
I'm okay.
You're fine. See, it's starting to get hot. And it's wicking all the solder away.
I really can't see the camera. Can you tell it's flowing?
Yeah. There you go. That's one side. No shorts or anything. And now we get to the other side. And as you can see, we got this little gloppiness on the side. And
You think you got it?
we are all but done, yes. And that was much cleaner, much smoother. You can look at
Let's
the
leave it
contacts
again.
and see that they're all soldered. We have one little bit of glop around this eye hole that's not hurting anything, that will clean up with the iron.
All right, so I don't know, man. I'm kind of shaking right now after watching that. But hey, we had fun, and Glenn, you floated that part right in, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not hard with the larger parts. The smaller ones are still much more difficult. And also, one of the things is you can get a solder mask for some of those boards like you're ordering, and then it's like a stencil, and you just glop the paste on, and the stencil puts it in the place it needs to be.
Yeah.
But the sewing needle and the toothpick trick worked quite well for the slightly larger part. Yeah, and I think I paid about $150 for mine. As soon as I left Tom's, I came home and ordered myself one, and I got the latest model that's got like the 8-inch LCD screen. But one thing that Tom hasn't mentioned about this microscope, it has an SD memory card slot inside, and you can actually take still pictures and videos of what's on the screen there, and then export them in and bring them in for what we've done here. But we didn't do that this time.
So this is mine's a little older. Glenn just ordered a newer one, and it's probably about an inch bigger. But I think Bill mentioned he ordered one of these. But this is basically it, and it's really nice if you're working on small stuff. 7 or 8 inch screen. You got lights you can aim right here.
Yeah, it's got the 2 onboard lights and multiple selections on the zoom.
Like Glenn mentioned, the SD card. You can record video. You can record single pictures. So basically, that's it. Okay,
Yeah, and it's about $150.
You can roll it up and down. Man, if you're going to work on something small, you just about have to have something like this. It really helps you a lot, especially when your eyes start getting bad like mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really a powerful tool.
Yeah, man, I still hear the L generator running out there, man. So hey, look, man, we are still under a power outage, man. We're down now to $987 an hour for electricity. All right. You know, I've looked at several of those. I couldn't really find one that you could hook to a monitor. I found a number of them that you had to hook to a PC. And I didn't want to run a PC every time I wanted to do some soldering over there like that. I would have loved to been able just to have a HDMI output and go to a 21-inch screen. But I hunted and hunted and I could not find it.
Now, for what I'm planning to do, I think having the ability to take still shots and videos is going to be just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and for your book, I know you use the photos in your book, and you can just take a quick shot of stuff as you build it.
And it just uses the little micro SD memory cards.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we've talked about most of the things we wanted to tonight. Let's see, what kind of fuel does it use, Tom? I'm on natural gas. Natural gas. So I guess I can run indefinitely unless we get a earthquake and it breaks the gas line.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of unique too, as I work at the data center for the power company over in Bartlett across town from me, pretty close to Tom. And here you work for the power company and the power goes out in that building rather often during storms. Of course, we've got a pair of monster generators, but it's just kind of one of those ironic things that the power company has the power go out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's.
But those were some pretty hefty storms that came through this afternoon.
Yeah, I wonder. I was trying to see if our storms are still here. Let's see. I don't know if it's, let me refresh that.
They're talking about latency with those video scopes, and mine doesn't have any that I've noticed.
Right, I haven't noticed any either. Let's see what the weather's out there like, so the linemen can get here and get us some electricity back. Here we go. We should know in a minute. I'm thinking, I don't hear any storms outside. I'm thinking it has pretty much...
No, the sun was actually out here after it passed and just before it went down. So
Yeah.
it's probably moved out of, most of it's moved out of the area.
Yeah, we still got some green. The yellow and red are gone, but we still got some green out there.
Oh, it was some dark clouds when I was pulling into my driveway, and I literally got inside the house about a minute and a half before the bottom fell out.
I heard, I was in the office, that's my ham shack, this wall behind me, the generator's right outside here. That's the end of my house. And then so I've got this room, and then I've got a living room. Well, we've got it converted into an office. And I was in there, and I heard some big thump. And I thought, well, that was something. Came in here, looked around, nothing in here blowed up or anything. So anyway, later I looked outside, and I had a big tree limb that fell out here behind on the side of the house. It was probably about 20 feet long. And it wasn't a huge limb. It was only maybe 6-7 inches diameter, but it fell from probably 80 feet. You know, it's pretty heavy. And hit the roof there, and it didn't break out the windows in the upstairs or anything. And it landed right next to my generator. Man.
The trees are trying to take out your power for serious here now.
They really are, man. Yeah.
Now they're targeting your generator.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it didn't fall across that gas line that hooks to it. That'd have been a mess.
Oh yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Well, hey, let me just tell you about this little this little laptop. Actually, I think it's a notebook. Don't expect it just to be high power or whatever. Anyway, it's called Evolve 3S Evolve 3. Yeah, Evolve 3. And it's kind of funny. The power supply is just a 12-volt wall wart. Look at that, 12-volt, 2-amp wall wart. But they don't have the standard 12-volt plug on it. This is more like a 5-volt. You know, the little plug for 5-volt. I don't know if you can see that or not. But so they got that smaller plug on a 12-volt. So this is the power supply for the laptop. Let me see if let's boot it up real quick. It's a little doesn't open real easy. Okay, so we're gonna boot it up. So I'm gonna hit the on button. We're gonna count seconds. I don't know how long. Okay, I just hit it. And let's see what we got here. Okay, that's about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, is that a Chromebook or an actual PC?
15, 16, I'm counting, 17, 18, 19, 20, there we go. About 20 seconds. So, let's see. Let me log in here. I forget what I log in with. Okay, PIN number. Okay, so I'll log in with my PIN number. It is Windows 10. And I guess wrong. Yeah, we're up. So it's fairly decent. Let me put a video on here and show you. I mean, it plays videos. It's not a high power deal, but woo, I'm getting a bunch of stuff. I don't know what that was.
How much memory and storage does it have?
All right, it's got. Let's see. It's got 4 gig of RAM,
Not
and
bad.
it's got 64 gig of ROM. So
It's using the ROM.
it's using
flash
ROM.
as a
It doesn't
hard
have a
drive.
hard drive. Does not have a hard drive. So let
Okay.
me type YouTube in here.
That's apparently their answer to the Chromebooks.
Yeah, I think it is. Let's see.
Looks kind of neat.
Okay, so I just typed in YouTube, and let's see. I don't know. Well, we're waiting. It's coming up. Okay. Oh, let's look at Amateur Radio Roundtable right here. We'll see how it plays the video. Wait a minute, I can't do it. It says watch later. I don't know why I need to watch later.
What kind of processors that got in it, Tom?
This
An
is
Intel?
this has got an Intel. This has got a Intel Celeron N3450. Let's play a video here real quick. All right, here we go. Intel Celeron N3450. Wow, that came up pretty quick.
That's pretty quick, yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, listen.
That's not bad at all.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pretty quick, yeah. That's quite impressive.
So it's small. Let me stop this. So it's small. It feels like a tablet almost.
Quite
You know.
impressive.
Well, let me.
Yeah, it's made for mainly web browsing, word processing,
Yeah,
simple, straightforward stuff. It's not made for installing monster programs.
You know, I played with the chat room in it. It works fine. Plays video fine. You know, it sees our show fine. So it's got a. Well, I'm trying to stop it. Let's see.
Yeah, it's made for mainly web browsing, word processing.
Okay, it stopped. So it's got a Intel Celeron processor in it. It's got a Intel HD Graphics 500 in it. It's got one USB 3 and one USB 2. It's got a nano SD slot. It's Bluetooth. It's wireless, 802.11 BGNN. and it's also your like Verizon 5G, your 5G network. That's built in, which is pretty good. But you'd have to pay for this as a device, get a monthly subscription, just like you would a phone, or a hotspot or something like that.
Right.
The battery is 5,500 milliamp hour. The battery's supposed to last 8 hours in it. It's a 4G LTE that's built in it. It does not have Ethernet. I'm just wondering if a lot of new computers today don't have an Ethernet jack on them. You got to get the little dongle, the USB to Ethernet. I wonder if a Ethernet to USB would work on this.
It probably will.
Yeah. Again, it's Windows. It's Windows 10.
It's Windows. Yeah. So I bet it does work.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the world's going wireless, man.
Yeah. So, this would be kind of good. I like to get on when I'm driving, not driving, but say in a car and we're going on a trip like to Dayton or somewhere. This would be kind of cool. It's light and small. You can stick it in the back of the seat or whatever. And, it would work pretty good. Micro Center, if you have a Micro Center near you, they're $58. But the nearest Micro Center to me was Cincinnati, which is over 400 miles away.
Actually, there's one in St. Louis.
Yeah, okay. That's at least 300 probably.
Yeah, it's about 300.
Yeah. So I bought mine through Amazon and paid about $100 for it just to try it out. Walmart's got them for $105. Micro Center's got them for $59. Amazon's got them now for $88.50. So they're coming down in price. But it's pretty light, and again, it feels like a tablet to me. But hey, as far as I know, it's a computer, man.
Yeah, that's nice. It'd be a great little, laptop for like portable operations or somebody going to school, because you don't need monster programs for school for the most part. You just need word processing and the simple stuff.
Yeah. Well, Bill's asking where we got it. There is no Micro Center close. In Micro Center, you can't order by mail. Micro Center, you have to walk in to buy it. So the nearest Micro Center to Bill is over 400 miles away. So again, Bill, you can find this. Just do a search on Amazon for the Evolve 3. Evolve 3. You can find it on Amazon for $88.50. And, I think it has some merit to it. It's
at that
cheap,
price, it's kind of like the Baofangs. If you break it, you're not going to cry.
Yeah. Andy says it's 150 miles round trip to the nearest Micro Center. That may be for Andy, but not for me. It's 800 miles round trip for me. And,
yeah.
I'd rather pay an extra $20 and order it instead of making it drive. Yeah.
But yeah, from $50 to $100, that's still an excellent.
I'm guessing a USB to Ethernet dongle might make it Ethernet.
Well, since it's Windows, it'll load the drivers.
Yeah,
fine,
it's Windows 10.
I'd say yes.
It's Windows 10. I think they make a little leather case you can also buy. I didn't buy it, but I think they make a leather case. Of course, this can fit into carry it.
KA2OFM says that FT8 works great on it.
Oh, does he? Okay. All right. We're very
and
good.
And that makes sense. If it's a Windows box and you're hooking up to the USB ports, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Because Windows will go up to Windows Update, pull down the drivers.
Yeah. So, hey, let me do this. I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna open the Zoom up for our friends out there to join us, and we'll let them join us on Zoom. We got about a half hour left here, and let me paste this in the chat room. So, guys, if you want to join a show here, just click on this link, and that will bring you right into the show if you got a camera and microphone. So. Here we go. There's a link right there to join us. Love to have you join us, take part in the show, and you'll be on the show streaming with us. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, but it's hey, I plugged in. It's got HDMI. I plugged in a 21-inch monitor with it, and I was watching YouTube on it. With that, and let's see who that could be.
It looks cool. If I could get one for $50, I'll probably pick one up.
Yeah, well, I think you're gonna have to pay a little more than that.
I don't know. I may be going up to St. Louis in January, so
Yeah, if you go up there again,
Swing by.
they've got them for 58.
and
And
it's
there's
typical of
Charlie.
electronics. The price
There's
will come
Charlie.
down over time.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Charlie.
So I have no idea. We'll evaluate it, and we'll see how it does over the next.
Yeah,
I just bought it.
definitely.
Hey, the price is right, man. I mean, it's like a throwaway, just about. The price
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, so
Price
it
is
looks really nice.
Well, Charlie, what have you been doing? Talk to us, Charlie.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good.
Okay, great. Was unable to connect lately, so well, I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah,
I hope.
look, a very nice laptop. That one for the price, of course. I think the what limits it is the amount of memory you have, the disk space, right? I've seen those types of PC already here in Uruguay. They are more expensive, but they are like inexpensive PCs for third world countries, something like that.
Well,
you don't see them on Amazon or like they are inexpensive, but people buy them and then realize that they cannot install too much things on it. They are always full. So if you know what you're getting to,
yeah.
I really
I think this is geared to school kids. They're trying to get the price down low enough that every kid can have one.
that's great.
Yeah.
You can install. For example, think of installing the Arduino
IDE.
IDE. Yes, I couldn't translate it. Yes, the Arduino IDE and all the robotics things for the kids, and that will work great there.
And you don't need to install stuff like Microsoft Office. You could just use, Google Chrome and Google Docs and all of that, and do it all online. So
Yeah,
if you treat it,
yes,
if you treat it like a Chromebook, it'll probably be okay.
Also, you have the micro SD card, so if you want to store movies or whatever, you can pop in a.
And those micro SD cards are way up there. I think they're up to 256 gig or larger now.
No, terabytes.
Oh, and
Oh
the
my
terabytes. Wow. Well, that gives you plenty of memory, man.
Yeah,
I need to put.
Maybe you are paying the same as a bigger laptop. If you
I need to get a terabyte SD card and plug it in my desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
How in the world can you pack that much information into a little bitty card the size of your fingernail, man? I mean.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know.
Hey, I hope everybody tonight.
I still can't believe how a vacuum tube works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What gets me is how somebody figured that out. Somebody had to have figured out that this is going to do this, or experimented, and it gave them some surprise results or whatever. But it's like, how did you do the vacuum tube?
Yeah.
And KA2OFM in the chat room has got a very good comment there. Some smart vendor will have the Evolves at the Huntsville Ham Fest for $99.
probably
That
will.
wouldn't surprise. Gigaparts might even do that.
Yeah.
Gigapart stocks a lot of stuff.
I can tell you, I went and checked while it was loading here on Zoom, the Micro Center in Cambridge, which is about 50 miles south of me here, has 25 in stock, but they said they will only sell it in store.
Yeah, they only
So-
sell them in store. You can't mail order it.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know what the Amazon link is.
Hey, it's simple, man. Just go to Amazon and in the search bar type Evolve Evolve 3 and you'll find
that's
it.
all you gotta
And
put.
you'll find it all different prices. You'll find it for $88, $105, $110, you'll find it for all prices. So just pick out the cheapest one with free shipping and you got it, man.
Yeah. Or you'll find my link. I'm offering one for $1,000 in free shipping.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to fund cat food one way or another, man.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that with all that royalty that you're receiving on the cat shows there, that you should be able to feed them for the rest of their lives.
No. Cat shows don't give you any money or anything. They give you ribbons and trophies.
Oh.
But no, believe it or not, though, there are some people that play that game on eBay and places like that. They'll list something for an ungodly amount of money, and all they need is one person to make the wrong click.
Man, hey, PS2? That's the gaming box, isn't it? Is it a PS2? Or?
Yeah.
PS4.
I've seen them. PS2 box. And in the description, this is only the box.
Right.
And they have $100 on there, or something like that, And people
My
think they're getting a
first book,
PS2 and they'll
if you
order
find-
it,
If you find my first book on Amazon or eBay, somebody is selling it for $200 and getting that.
Well,
And it darn sure ain't me.
yeah.
Why not?
Maybe they may be just doing that to get it off the market, man.
Yeah. Well, but then why do they have me keep doing it?
I don't know about that, man. That sounds a little insane, man.
I mean, I'm working on my fourth book for ARRL, and at Dayton, we pretty much nailed down 2 more.
All right, so a minute ago I was going to mention, I hope everybody that went to w5kub.com was able to watch the video from our web page. You should have. I checked it out. It was working here, and others have told me they were watching it, so I assume that was working.
I just want to say something, Dan.
Yeah. Also, the chat room should not have been on in YouTube. I don't know if anybody can verify that or not, but
Yeah, it was not on.
good.
Well, when I logged on, I had the chat room, okay, and I clicked on the video, and the video sent me to YouTube, okay, and I noticed on YouTube that the chat room had been closed, okay, which was good, all right, and then I asked you if you were embedding it to W5KUB, and you said it was running.
Yep.
So I just went and rejoined W5KB and clicked on the button and it was there. I logged in before
Great.
you actually broadcasted.
Great, that's
So,
good. Okay. So there's so many different little fluky things going on with YouTube right now. You got to go in and set up, and you got to click check box and everything. And sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's not. So everything worked tonight. I checked it. It looked okay tonight. We're happy. Next time we do a live, it probably won't be checked, and I'll have to manually check the stuff. But we just don't like having 2 chat rooms running. We don't like 40% of the people being on one chat room and 60% being on the other chat room. We like to get everybody together.
Yeah, Clifton is saying that the YouTube chat room is disabled.
It's supposed to be. That's the way it's checked tonight. I wish it would just stay like it permanently, but I have to check it every single time I come on. Sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not.
Hey, Bill.
Welcome, Bill.
You muted.
Oh, he got internet and made it in.
Yeah, well, you're not saying
A whopping 0.2 meg upload speed.
what? How fast? 22?
0.2.
Oh, 0.2.
200K.
Oh,
I mean,
Sounds
you're
more
back.
impressive when you say 200K.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you're back into the dial-up AOL days, man.
Kudos to the compression, the video compression algorithm.
Yeah. Got to give him that much credit. It's awesome.
Hey, you know, it'd sound better if you don't say 200K. Just say 200,000. My bit rate's 200,000. Yeah. Man, I think my generator's still running. It's running so quiet out there, I guess I'm getting used to it, man.
Yeah, and by the way, thanks for sending all those terrible storms my way.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
it was our pleasure. You know, we knew it was getting hot over there.
well, they're still here. They hadn't left us yet. Man.
Okay, that means there's more on the way. There was like a mini tornado a mile west of us that knocked down a whole
Well, all I
bunch of trees
see,
right in the road.
yeah, all I see on radar right now is just some green patches around over us. Before it was, yellow and red, but it's turned out to just green now. You'd think since I have a contact now with Glen with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, I could just get Glen to make a phone call and get this power turned back on here.
Oh no, you make that phone call and tell them my name, and they'll come out and disconnect you permanently.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh.
But no, I don't have anything to do with that. I'm more on the network, internal corporate stuff, and like I said, I was driving home today, and that stuff just kept getting darker and darker and darker as I was getting close to home. And I've got a 30-minute drive across town,
Yeah.
and I just keep, the closer I get to home, the darker it gets. And I literally got in my driveway and got in the house, and the bottom fell out a minute and a half later. And yeah, it was some pretty rough storms. It was windy on the road and everything.
Yeah. Well, it was coming. It was heading this way. It was heading this way, and when the power went out, I thought, well, I've got the show tonight, and Kathy's going to be in here with us, and I've got this elderly neighbor next door that I always let him use my electricity when the power goes out. So I have this 12-gauge, extension cord that I plug in my shop, and I run across my driveway over to his house, and he'll plug into it, And so I wanted to get that in before the rain started coming down and before we got busy with the show. So I told him, I said, I'll just leave it there overnight, and if the power don't go out, if it don't have another outage tonight, I'll just get it tomorrow.
Yeah, but I mean it was and it seems like your area, you've got those old.
What happened, man? You froze. Huh. I think we listen. Anybody else there? Charlie, you still there? Okay. So we lost Glen. It looks like. Even Bill with 200K, he's still on.
It's better.
I don't know what that was, but my Zoom just went away and froze and came back.
Yeah.
I have to say something. They had an update to Zoom last week. Okay. Yeah. And if you didn't update your machine, you're behind.
No, I updated, and this is just doing weird things, and that it actually closed my group video window, but the other window stayed up, but I froze, and then the window restarted. So it's definitely a Zoom app issue. They're going to be issuing another update soon.
I was thinking maybe another tree limb fell across the internet connection or something out here.
Hey, Glenn, what time is your forum again at the Huntsville?
It's at 9 a.m.
The reason I ask is on the website, on the Huntsville website, it says 10 a.m. But the
Maybe.
email I got said yours was 9 and mine was 10. But if you go to the website, hamfest.org, it shows you at 10 and me at 11.
Well, who's at 9 then?
It just says opening of Hamfest. Hamfest open.
Well, 10 and 11 sounds more realistic than 9 a.m. Give people time to get their schedule, get over there. But probably need to shoot an
I
email.
believe that's probably why, but I would check on that before you go to Huntsville,
Yeah.
just to make
And
sure.
Huntsville is in the central time zone. But yeah, I'll send him an email and ask and just confirm. But I'm going to be there anyway.
It would make
Yeah, show
more
up 8
sense.
o'clock.
It would make more sense rather than start a forum at the very beginning of the Hamfest.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Who said 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I said show up at 8 o'clock, and then you can fire whoever it is that's doing this registration.
Well, realistically, I am, because I'm not staying at the Embassy Suites, so I need to get a good parking place. And the earlier you get there, the better your odds of getting a decent parking place in that parking deck.
Yeah.
So
You mean the one there over on the right there, right?
well, no, the one that's east across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I parked there once.
Yeah, well, that's where I usually park, unless I stay at the Embassy Suites and park underground.
Right.
But yeah, but I mean, I'm planning to be there at 7 or 8, and I'll just, wave my hands and say I'm here with Tom and let me in. And yeah, I mean, I'm all geared to go. I've got my forum. It's finally finished, and it's one of those things that, as I kept recording the one for QSO today, I kept making changes and having to change the one for Huntsville, and just back and forth and back and forth. And I finally got that down, started to do all my recordings, and my darn headset developed a buzz, and I don't know what it was. And fortunately, I had 2 or 3 others around, but the audio just sounded horrible on them. And this is actually an old one with the mini plugs, and it's plugged into a USB dongle for the audio. And I'm surprised it's doing with any kind of
those dongles. I used them all the time. Used to use them all the time for the show here. In fact, I'm using them on a number of PCs right here.
And I'm just surprised that this one's really, it's got decent audio. It's not like my other headset, but I ordered a new headset. Amazon said they'd get it to me on Monday.
Well, hey, maybe you will win. We've got 3 Heil headsets to give away at Huntsville.
But I'm not going to be in the chat room at Huntsville.
You can just get your phone and log in.
Yeah, I might try that.
I'm
going to be too busy buying stuff. I'm going to be too busy giving forums. Let somebody else win that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I do need to get I do need to get my donation in for the Comet Analyzer, though. That definitely. Now, when are the drawing going to close for that?
Well, let's think about that. I think we've been closing it at midnight Saturday night, and then we announce it. We announce it at noon on Sunday.
Okay, so I can get my money to you there.
We
on
could.
Saturday.
I guess we could leave it open till like 10 o'clock.
Well, I was just wondering if I could just give you the money at Hamfest or whatever.
Well, is it going to be cash? We don't take checks.
It will be cash.
Green cash?
It will be green American dollars in cash.
All right.
I mean, if he's going to play this green cash stuff, I'm going to have Charlie send me some Venezuelan bucks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
I have some Monopoly money that's green.
Yeah, the 20s in Monopoly are green.
Yeah.
You are closer to Venezuela than I am, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I just knew that their economy was in the toilet, so I figured, it'd be easy to get. But
No, Argentina's. You go with $1 to Argentina now, and it's incredible. Even for us to go and buy services, for example, like having dinner or transport, many stuff, it's really inexpensive for us.
Yeah.
Really crazy. I don't know.
But I
So-
did get a new headset coming. Amazon was supposed to have delivered it yesterday. Then they said, "Oops, it's going to be late. You'll get it today or tomorrow." And since it didn't show up today, I'm assuming it'll show up tomorrow. So,
So,
Anyway,
hey, talking about the cost and everything, and international, if they want to, throw in a donation for this, that's fine. But they need to pay the shipping on it. I think it's. I mean, the shipping for me to ship this somewhere, it could be $75 to $100 just to ship
yeah,
it.
I've been looking at European
Yeah.
parts for some various reasons, and they just the seller happened to be over in the UK, and it's,
Yeah.
shipping on a little board is $35.
Yeah, I ordered a little translator. It was like $80 or something. I was not happy with it, so I wanted to send it back. And they'd give me my money back after some arguments. They'd give me my money back, but I had to send it back to like Czechoslovakia.
Right.
And the cost to send it back was going to be like $80.
Yeah. And what's amazing, you order this stuff from China and it's cheap and
Yeah.
free shipping, but boy, if you have to send it back, you're looking at a $70 trip.
Well, let me say this on our prizes on
Yeah,
the
I
prize
got
page. Let me just say one thing on our prize page, and I don't know if we've made a note there. I think I have. The prizes we say U.S. only. If I don't mind, I don't know what I was going to say. If an international
You'll
person,
ship-
if
you'll
an
ship it if
international
they pay
person
shipping.
wins it, if an international person wins it, they would have to pay the shipping on it. That's just a stipulation, but it's probably better not to even offer it. Oh no, I know. Okay, that's not even worth it. Here's what I was wanting to say. There are a number of international people that do have a U.S. address. Like, for instance, a lot of Canadians have addresses in the U.S. And if you have a U.S. address, let me put it that way, you're eligible for U.S. prizes if you have a address inside the U.S. And that's the way we'll frame it.
Okay, Bill, you were going to say something?
Which bill?
ELK.
I noticed the same thing when I order stuff from China. It's super cheap. I get it in 3 days or a week. When I try and send parts to get it to assembly house there, which is really cheap to get stuff assembled, sending the parts there would cost so much that it's cheaper for me to assemble parts in America because the shipping costs are so exorbitant to China.
It's insane.
I don't understand why that is.
I don't either.
Well,
But
I think I once saw a video that the issue is that there is like a tariff scheme which is outdated regarding shipping costs or something like that. That China is considered third world country for shipping.
yeah, and China may subsidize their shipping.
Yeah,
Well, there's
probably
It was
no
something
tariff.
related to that. I remember they made an example like buying something from, it was a Radio Shack at that time, and it was cheaper in Radio Shack, but if you added the local shipping cost, it was more expensive than buying it from China, which came free shipping.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think from China to the U.S. there's probably no tariff, and from the U.S. back to China there's major
You have
tariffs.
everything.
Yeah, there may be. Who knows?
Yeah.
All I know is that I get my stuff from China real cheap. I have probably paid for 2/3 of the Chinese army.
Well, I tell you, Glenn, now this thing right here, this is well worth ordering. You need to order one. $399. I can get you one.
Well, I was going to say, I bet if I buy one of the rigs there, they might throw that in, or at least give me a discount on it.
Back to Ray Novak.
Hey, Tom, does that come with a heat-resistant band that goes underneath the watch when you're running full power?
Well, it must have. It probably does. That is 100 watt. You know, it's amazing how they can put a 100 watt rig in something that small. You know, and actually, guys, that's got 2 receivers in it right there. 2 complete receivers. So, you know, that's a good buy for $299.
Well, what interests me?
Work HF from your wrist right there. Work HF from your wrist.
I'd be a little bit concerned, though, because for a battery to give you 100 watts to even make one QSO, you're going to be having a nuclear power source.
No, it's easy. There's a new buck boost that's out now. It's about the size of a little pea. And it does it. It buck boosts not only voltage but the current.
Yeah, just
In
takes
fact,
one
that thing
little
runs.
pellet of uranium.
That actually runs on one of those little miniature button batteries right there. And
Well, you know, they were talking about those little nuclear batteries.
I looked into that. I was going to buy one for flying on a balloon, and they were like $1,000, but they didn't have enough current. And there's a place in Miami or in Florida that I found them. They were nuclear batteries.
Exactly.
And I looked at it, but they wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no, you're dealing in microamps there.
Yeah.
So I have the power solution, Tom, for that watch radio. Fly a kite. In fact, right now might probably be a good time to do
really
that.
good time.
With a wire and hook the wire to the watch. That'll give you plenty of power.
Yeah, just run your wire out there and put your big diode on it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess lightning is not AC. It's not DC. It's kind of in between, isn't it?
Well, it's technically static electricity.
Well, where does that fall? In between AC and DC?
Well, that means nothing.
Well, something. If you get hit by it, it's something. Believe me.
Yeah, but it's not a usable form of electricity for electronics.
Well,
Wait a minute. I thought that's what Ben Franklin proved.
Well, it's more like antimatter. Lightning may indeed be electricity and power, but it's kind of like antimatter when you try to hook it up to electronics.
yeah.
Well, you
All you
read
have
in
to
history
do is get
that
yourself a regulator that can handle an input voltage of 180,000 volts at 200,000 amps.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a device out there that'll handle it.
So you take that and
It'll be bigger than that watch, though.
Yeah, but it's called a DeLorean.
you take that 100,000 amps and 100,000 volts, and you convert it backwards. You only want like 12 volts at 10 amps.
About 10 amps
Yeah.
thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need. That and a DeLorean will get you back to the
only
future.
problem is your watch will end up going. I was just going to say your watch will end up back in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, it might. All right. Well, hey guys, our show has ended on shortwave. Thank you for watching or listening out there to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio. Join us next week, same time, same place. All right, we're gonna kill the stream here. Thanks to everybody in the chat room for being with us. I'm still on generator. Man, I hear it out there. I have to listen closely.
That's
Hey,
actually
Tom. How much does it cost running the generator?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say.
He'll find out when he gets his electric bill.
Yeah.
You mean gas bill?
First time you run
mean-
it for so long?
Well, the
He'll
longest
find out when he gets his gas bill.
I've ever run it is about 8 hours at one time. It uses natural gas. The gas from the pipes come to your house.
Yes.
So it'll run
So the gas
continuous.
bill
If it runs more than 30 days straight, then they'll come out and service it. It requires servicing, but it can run day and night for 30 days. But natural gas has doubled in cost, I hear. So But hey, I don't really mind what it costs, just because everybody else doesn't have any electricity and I do.
Yeah.
It's just really nice, man. You walk in here, you pop some popcorn, you go in here and you sit down and you watch TV, and everybody else at home, they got candles out.
Yeah, you are fighting for best price of a Vault 3 computer. It's 58, it's 60 here, and then you're happy running.
And the nice thing about it is, man, it's just it's automatic, and I don't have to do anything. You still have to drag the old big heavy generator out, and I have to flip the breaker switch, main switch off, and I have to hook up a suicide cable, to put power back into the house. And oh man, so now it just comes on. It takes about I measured it today. It took about 25 seconds. The lights went out, and 25 seconds they were back on. And when the power comes back on, I won't know it. The transition is just instantaneous. When the city power is back on.
At like 85%, Tom?
It's what?
I said when the power comes up to 85%, your generator shuts off.
Well, I don't know about 85%. I think it's something.
No, he didn't say
like
that.
But,
he didn't say that.
I would like more than 85% power. I mean, usually we either have power or no power. We don't have like 70% power.
Yeah, we don't have brownouts in the south.
Yeah, we don't have brownouts like that down here.
I guess the system, when power comes back, it waits.
It waits a number of seconds just to make sure that the power doesn't go back out. So it'll probably run for 5 minutes, maybe. And then also it has this cooling down period where it will cool down, for like 5 minutes. And like I mentioned earlier, I got a neighbor and
around these here parts, it's either on or off.
Is it what now?
Down here it's either on or
around
off.
Here, it's either on or off.
Yeah, that's the way it is here, on or off. We don't have brownouts. Yeah. So right now I'm powering my home and
Tom,
my neighbor.
An assembly.
I'm powering my home and my neighbor. I got a big extension cord running over, and he can plug whatever he wants to in it over there.
I want to be your neighbor.
How many kilowatts is that, Tom?
That what? It's 22.
How many kilowatts is that?
22 kilowatt.
Great.
You mentioned the cheap assembly house. Did you have something made in an assembly house? And if so, where'd you go?
You talking about this tracker? What are you talking about, Bill? The tracker board? Bill?
Yeah. Okay. Did you have it assembled somewhere?
Yeah. Well, we made a bunch of changes to the board, and we were having the boards made at what is it? JLC, JLB.
Oh, okay.
JLB PCB. Anyway, they actually put the parts on there. You can't see it there. Anyway, they actually put the parts on it. They didn't have 2 or 3 of the parts, but they put everything on there except the 328P and a resonator. And I mean, the whole thing's like $12.
Hey,
right.
Bill,
I've had stuff produced by JLC PCB assembly, but they have to buy the parts. That we were discussing, Glenn and I were discussing shipping parts to China.
Well, they have all the parts. They have all the parts except a couple.
They didn't have all the parts for my tracker that I would have. I tried them once. It was only $3 a board. To assemble. And when I got it back, I still had to spend an hour putting the parts on that they didn't have.
Yeah, there was a few parts they didn't have, but still. That's kind of neat to see it.
So it's $21 a board in America here, but I send them all the parts.
Yeah.
And a lot cheaper than trying to send it to China. Plus, you send $1,000 worth of parts to China, you're not sure it's going to get there or not.
They're going to use your parts. That's the problem.
That might. Yeah, that's right.
They're going to sell. Yeah, they're going to sell your parts.
Alibaba.
Yeah, sell your parts and use the cheap stuff. Hey, Bill, on that time on the the forums. I'm looking on the forum schedule on their website, and it's 9. So where was the place you saw it at 10?
Hamfest.org. Let me take a look at.
Because I'm at hamfest.org in the forum schedule, and it's showing it at 9 a.m.
They may have changed it.
Oh, no. You're right. 9 a.m. is blank, and it's actually at 10. Okay.
All right. Hey, guys, everybody in the chat room, thank you for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. And hey, be safe out there. And, hey, thanks for joining us. And we're going to go ahead and terminate the